What is the purpose? You might wonder, what is the purpose of development? What is the purpose of growing? Why do I have to do this? Why do I need to wake up every day and make the hard choice, which is going to cause the most resistance? Well, you have to understand that the only purpose is to not be fucking stuck. And so in a reality full of people who remain in the same position, they stagnate, their water spoils. You have to understand that we're current in motion, right? And so you have to understand that you're either going to be in momentum, motion, and you're going to be moving and directing your will to where you want to go, and you're going to be wielding your power in life instead of yielding to nothing, instead of remaining stagnant in the same position. Or you're going to get the fuck up, you're going to channel the resistance, and you're actually going to do some shit to unfold some shit. And so what is the point of the personal development neoteric dissolution? Why do you preach every day that we have to do this, we have to do that? Why are the habits the most difficult fucking habits we could think of in the human existence? And why do we do this every day? Well, it's very fucking simple. To not be stuck. And so the people who remain stuck, they breathe hopelessness into the atmosphere. The worst thing you can do is go to someone who's been stuck their entire life in the same cyclical cycle of a 9 to 5 or whatever the fuck you want to call this shit, the stagnation of an individual, and ask them for advice on life. The worst thing you could do is simply go to someone who's been in the same position their entire life, feeding distraction on the endless cycle to lie to themselves and dilute their perception to pretend like they aren't the same low-level stagnant piece of shit. You have to understand how we exist in existential potentialities, and you're either going to be moving in momentum and alignment with your potential, or you're going to be this devastating 1% of what the fuck you could have been. You're going to be this one slice of pizza when you could have been the entire fucking pizza. You're going to be 1% of what the fuck you could have been, and then you're going to sit back, and one day you're going to come across someone who's going to reflect what you could have been, and the pain is going to be so sharp that you either sabotage yourself and that individual in that moment and reflect upon yourself and realize that the power was always there. The choice was in the power. I mean, the power was in the choice, same way, other way around, and you never made the fucking choice. And so what is the point of personal development? Every day you make sure that we develop, and every day you tell me what I need to do in perfect simplicity with a touch of complexity and not complication, simply a complex blueprint for you to unfold every single day so you ensure that you level up and you do not remain a stagnant piece of shit, right? And so what is the purpose? Well, it's simply to not be stuck. Because most people go their entire life being stuck and pretending they're not. And that's the worst thing you can do to your soul. To look back in the mirror and realize that you've been the same person for 5 fucking years. To not look in the mirror and see the difference of who you were, who you became, and what you're continually ripping through space and time to become. You have to understand that the only truth is the individual in the mirror, and most of you guys lie yourselves out of the truth in the mirror of which you need to reflect upon. You deflect the reflection and you live in a state of perpetuating neglection. And so what you have to understand is that if you're not going to confront yourself, if you're not going to realize you've been stagnating, if you're not going to get the blueprint from an individual who's going to serve you exactly what you need to actually get in motion, in momentum, and actually move through life like a big tsunami instead of this ripple of a wave, this stagnant fucking swamp water shit that you guys continuously on the endless cycle ensure you remain, you have to understand that when you wake up and you don't do what I say, well, you're going to be in a worse position than if you did. You have to understand that the word is very fucking simple. The choices you make are all going to accumulate to a result, and that result is going to be the experience of your life. And some people are okay with taking significance in the insignificant. But if you are a person who believes that significance is the only nectar of life, and you need to actually become significance in character, significant as an individual through the way you conduct yourself in reality so you can emanate significance into your existence, well, then you're at the right place. But if you could take joyous in smoking, vaping, and playing a video game, get the fuck off the video, because this video wasn't made for you. This video was not made to change who the fuck you are. It was made for you to reflect on that bitch in the mirror and realize that you're never going to be shit because you're too fucking insignificant to realize that significance requires work. It requires purpose. If you want to be significant, well, you have to take significant action. And so what do we do every fucking day to ensure that we gain significance through the quantum and space continuum instead of remaining and stagnating in the same fucking position one's entire life? We actually choose to say, okay, this 3 a.m. fucking wake up, I'm gonna do this shit every fucking day until I fucking die. You see this everyday fucking workout. Every day I'm going to wake up and conquer this shit until I fucking die. Every day, I'm going to make the choice to conquer the resistance. Every day, I'm going to show who the fuck I am to myself. Every day, I make the hard choice because this is who the fuck I am. And this is who the fuck I anchor into reality. Most people are okay with anchoring themselves in doubt, shame, guilt, and then continuing it on an endless cycle, escaping that bitch through negative habits. Fuck. What we do is we wake up and we ensure that the individual that we see in our mind, the best version, maximized. Everyone talks about being the best and leveling up and maximizing and getting to the next level and maximizing the energetic expenditures that one has within this existence. The only fucking thing we do is actually do it. Fuck the talking. The fuck up. Look in the mirror and recognize you're a bitch. You're going to die a bitch if you don't do shit to fix some shit. And so what I do is I provide you with the intellect, with the prowess, with the clarity to move through life with actual direction. Most people that direct themselves to life they don't want to live. No. You taking up the power of self-development is going to direct you to a person you want to be. Most people, they exist in states of consciousness they don't want to exist within. This is why they have to pick up the vape and the weed. This is why they have to play the video game, level up in some RPG. What we do is we simply understand that the power is within ourselves. The power is within one's wielding of will, and we will will ourselves to the outcomes that we know we're worth because it's the fucking standard. And so why do I have to wake up every day at 3 a.m.? I don't want to wake up. I want to sleep till 12. Why do every day I have to hit the everyday workout and count the macros? Why do I have to do this every day? Why is this hard? Why can't I just do what I want when I want? Well, because if you want to be of significance, well, significance is fucking standards, bitch. And so what we do is we standardize the standard on the hardest fucking level, and then we activate the internal qualities that are reflected through the activation of the activity to control, to gain, and to have a poised state of equilibrium that we exist within. Understand every day you accumulate the internal qualities reflected in the action. So you can watch porn. What internal qualities is this reflecting? You guys exist in a state of inertia. What internal qualities does your life extract from the activities that you produce within your existence? Everyone is producing. Everyone is in a state of productivity. And if you don't do shit, well, you're simply producing an unproductive piece of shit. And so what we do is we cultivate the internal qualities needed to facilitate an individual who's actively going to be in the maximum state of their capability, and then they're going to steadily raise the capacity as they stack the voltage that is going to be acquired through the activities that need voltage. And then you're going to stack this every day, and you're going to cultivate discipline. You're going to cultivate resilience. You're going to cultivate willpower. You're going to cultivate a self-image that is undeniable, and your success will be inevitable because of who the fuck you came. Everyone wants the high quality, become it, bitch. You have to understand that if you're not going to acquire what you want in life, well, you're going to settle for less. And someday you're going to see someone who's outperformed you, and then you're going to project the internal inadequacy reverberated from your soul that you have fermented into your existence instead of reflect on who you could have become. The best thing to do is change now before it's too fucking late, because time is decreasing, and if you're not moving with momentum, well, time is working against you. You have to understand that when you uptake the blueprint, you are working with time, and time is working with you, because the growth of your character is inevitable. Everyone wants to have this. Everyone has a lot of wants, but to acquire the wants, you need to become something that can actually attain it. Most people, you guys don't understand. If you look in the fucking mirror right now, and then you throw a big vision in your mind that you truly believed you could have done, but then we look at your character, we realize you're not the fucking one to do it. And so what we do is we simply become the individual who knows we're going to be what we need to become to attain what we know we're deserving of. And why do we deserve this? Because every fucking day we standardize the standards needed. Instead of being a low-level piece of shit, bitch, we actually did some shit with our life to move in a direction that we believe we're worth. It's all about self-worth. You believe you're worth the Pornhub, watch porn. No one gives a fuck. It's your life. No one's gonna give a fuck about you more than you give a fuck about yourself. And so you could conform to the fake validity, you can conform to the validation and all these mediocre pieces of shit, or you can simply uptake the truth, carry it on your back, look in the fucking mirror, realize you're a bitch, and do some shit to fix some shit on an endless fucking cycle. A cycle until what you see in the mirror is so fucking refined that nothing external can define you. Bitch, you're the imprint of yourself. Nothing external is going to label you what they want. You chose every day that this is who the fuck you are because your standards are so fucking high that the reflection they see when they see you is so devastating that they have to reveal to themselves the iniquity that they hid within their entire fucking life. Either shine the light on the abyss in your mind or sanction yourself to the inevitable abyss of compounded failure as you go through life becoming nothing. It's that fucking simple. Shine the light on yourself and become a sun, or remain in the void that of never becoming. It's that fucking simple. Peace!